between my 13 years in bartending and his 32 years being an officer and growing up in this town, we know a lot of people. So when I got into real estate, I tried the door knocking. I did the open houses. I did the expireds. I did the cold calling. I tried everything. But what was really working for me was my sphere, making sure that everybody knew I was in real estate and that I was truly in love with my career. That, I think, pushed it over the edge. Next question was,
so when did you know that tapping into your sphere was going to be key to your success? Like, when did you put connect the dots on that?
When I got over the fear of it, right? When I got over the fear of puking real estate all over my friends and that they didn't want to hear it and they didn't want to be bothered with it, and realizing that I didn't actually have to ask them for the business so much as I thought, but let them know that I was in the business and that I was always looking to help more people. So somebody told me in the very, very beginning, the average person knows about seven people who buy, sell, or invest every year. So it wasn't directly, hey, Sarah, are you looking to buy or sell a house? Or anybody who does. It was, hey, Sarah, yeah, how's job? My job's great. How's the kids? Good. What are you doing at work? I'm in real estate now and I really, really love it, right? To make it really short and quick, we'll do a deep dive in later on. But it took me, I think it was about 6 months before, 6-7 months before I really realized that I wasn't bothering them. I was letting them know what I was succeeding and that I was happy and that I wanted to help as many people as I could.
Okay. People tend to freak out when they hear the word script.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I'm not to memorize it, and it doesn't sound like me, and I sound like a robot. And they don't realize, and Joanne and you and I were talking about this before everybody hopped on, that we use scripts every day for everything, and you don't realize it because you've internalized it. Mm-hmm. So it sounds like you're using the Ford method with your sphere. Would that be accurate?
Yeah. So scripts, I mean, I don't particularly like the word either. I believe that you are a human, I am a human, and we have conversations. And I do believe that there are some really fantastic objection handlers that you should definitely read the scripts and memorize them. But as far as getting the business, if you're diving deep into your sphere, they're using you because they love you and they trust you. You've already earned their trust. So you don't have to use that objection handler like you do with an expired or a for sale by owner or maybe a price improvement, right? It's more of a conversation like, don't forget about me. Know that I truly am in love with my career and I want to help you. So they naturally gravitate towards you, right? So, but it is a script, but it's more of like it's a conversation, it's dialogue.
So I heard you say you just got over your fear. What made you get over your fear to start talking to your sphere?
I broke it down. I broke it down in my head. I'm like, okay, is it finding the number that I'm scared of? No. Is it dialing the number that I'm scared of? No. People dial the phone every day. Nobody dies, right? You're okay. The fear was them answering the phone and actually saying hello. And then I'm going to be like, oh shit, right? What do I ask? What do I say? So then I'm like, well, what do I say to everybody when I'm on the phone? Whether it's your mom or your dad or your best friend or somebody you just met a couple hours ago working at the bar, because I worked at the bar for the first year that I did real estate. And it was just, hey, how are you? And Joanne, let's work this out. Hey, Joanne, how are you?
Hey, Cassie. I guess I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm really good. How are your kids?
They're doing great. Finally getting settled down, and when your kids are happy, it seems like everything else is good too. So they're all in a good place. My grandkids are in a good place, so it's pretty well. I see your son's doing really well. I see on Facebook.
Yeah, he's huge.
I know. He's getting so big.
11 now, and one is 8, and they blow my mind. We just actually hiked up a mountain a couple of days ago, and they actually did it. They didn't complain at all. It was amazing.
Wow. Yeah. That's awesome.
I love where we live. Do you love where you live?
I do. Yeah. I just, because I think it's maybe not where, I mean, I like the place, but it's just, I have my whole family together. So that's important. Great.
That is very important. I just didn't realize how much I loved where we lived until probably about 10 years ago. realizing
Oh,
how
yeah.
much the Poconos has to offer. It's amazing.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah. Are you taking any vacations this summer?
Well, I was actually gonna maybe go to the Poconos. You're in that area, right?
Yeah, yeah. They're we just found out they're building a whole new resort up here, one of the Margaritavilles.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
That's gonna be what, like the 6th or 7th resort we have up here with indoor water parks, outdoor water parks. Yeah.
That sounds
They
awesome.
said
I'll
it
have to
should be
check that out.
complete by 2024.
Awesome.
Yeah. So where in
Awesome.
the Poconos do you think you're gonna come and visit?
I believe friends of ours have places around Lake Wampaupack.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Fun fact, I grew up there. So if you're
you
looking for
did.
anything, yeah, I did. I did. I lived up there for about 20, 21 years. So if you're looking for anything special, just let me know.
All right, awesome. That would be great.
So I am calling because I wanted to let you know that I just switched career paths.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
What are you doing now?
I just started a business in real estate.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And being in the Poconos, I think that's probably a great area to business in.
It for sure is. I love it so much. There's so much business going on. Did you know that the average sale price went up 35% here in the Poconos over the past year?
Wow, I didn't know that.
That's pretty crazy, right?
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So how
Yeah, a
does
lot of the
someone afford buying a second home or something like that then?
Yeah, absolutely. Poconos is still considered in the top 10 of the most affordable places to buy a vacation home.
Ah,
So you definitely be in that area. So how about this? Why don't you, when you come up this area this summer, give me a call, let me know, and I'll come visit you. And also in the meantime, I have your email address. Is this still the correct one? Blah, blah, blah.
that's
And
right.
this is still your address, 123?
Yes,
Okay, great. I'm gonna just set you up on a search of cool vacation homes, little cottages in the area, okay?
that would be awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, it was great seeing you the other day.
It was great seeing you too. Thanks for calling and touching base.
Of course. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
You use so many phenomenal one-liners that are not aggressive or salesy or any of that. The whole "I love where I lived, you love where you live" is so genuine and easy to put in a sentence that I literally typed it in the chat because I thought, oh my God, that is brilliant, because it just makes you sound so genuine.
I think because you can't fake authenticity.
No, you cannot.
You cannot be a different person in your life than you are at work. You
Nope.
genuinely have to be a person that comes from contribution, that is not putting the commission before your client. And if you do that, you can never fail at this. Well, you're always going to fail, but you'll succeed. You will always succeed.
You will fail forward.
Yes, you will fail forward constantly, every day, all the time. It is. I mean, we build it up so big in our heads, right? You build up that first listing presentation, you build up that first buyer consultation, you build up the phone call in your head before you even make it, right? And then we ended up scaring ourselves out of it. And that's just crazy. Does anybody do
Definitely.
that?
Yes.
I still do it. And I have to talk myself out of it and break it down. Okay, what about this is so scary? Like, why am I building this up in my head? What else we got?
All right, so I want to open it up for people that have questions, because in 10 minutes is when they start to do their own phone calls to whatever audience they're targeting. Sphere would probably be a great one for all of you, because you just were shown a phenomenal conversational script, non-script that you could leverage. So if anybody has questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask Cassie directly, or type it into the chat. We're monitoring that as well.
Here's one.
I actually have a question.
Yes.
Hi, Cassie. My name is Aaliyah. I'm actually from the Clinton office, the Keller Williams office in Clinton. I
Hi.
think we have the same owners. They're the same owners.
Yes, we do.
So, okay, so I listened to your script. I loved it. It was great, but you had already so much in common with her. You grew up in the area. You know what I mean? So like for myself, I didn't grow up in this area, you know? So right there, I don't have anything in common with them. in that sense. I live in the area. It's great. You know, been here, done that, etc. So there was a lot of things that you said with her that you had a lot in common. But what I'm asking you is, what do you say to people when you don't have that much in common? Like, you know, where you're not living in the same place for 20 years. You know, I do try to talk with them. I've been very fortunate. We've lived almost around the whole world. I haven't lived in one place, you know, more than, this is my first time living in one place for over 2.5 years. So how do I bring that to them when I don't have that much in common with them? And I do have a fear of thinking that people think that I'm only talking to them just to get their business. This is a big fear of mine, where I'm actually not. I really love what I do. I think, like everyone on this call, I feel like I have so much value to offer. But I just feel like I have a fear that people think I'm only talking with them because now I'm a realtor.
Okay. So the first thing is ask questions to find that common ground. Actually, Joanne, I don't even know how many hours away from me you are. She had no idea that I grew up in Lake Wallenpaupack because I no longer live in Lake Wallenpaupack. That's not my area. I just found that common ground. So you told me you traveled a lot.
Yes.
So if I were to call you, I have no idea who you are.
Correct.
Okay. So maybe we met a few times years ago and I'm calling you to reconnect. And you said your name, Ayla?
Aaliyah.
Aaliyah, I'm sorry. So I'm going to call you. Do you have kids?
Yes, 3 of
Okay.
them.
Okay. So hi, Aaliyah, how are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm really great. How did the school year go for your kids?
Oh, really, really great. My oldest is about to go into high school. So he's
Wow.
graduating this year, and my 5th grader is about to go in 6th grade. And my 2nd grader is excited. She'll still be in elementary school.
Oh, wow. That's very cool. Wow. I didn't realize they were that old. I guess it has been that many years since we talked. Sorry, it's been so long.
Ah, no worries. So what have you been up to?
Real estate, traveling
wow.
a lot. My kids and I are hiking a lot. Are you guys into hiking?
We do like to hike when we have time between all the sports activities.
Oh, yes. What sports?
Name it, we do it.
Oh, same with us. We're in baseball and football and basketball.
Yep.
We even tried wrestling for a little bit.
Oh, wow. No, not yet, but I'm sure
Okay.
we'll probably get there. I mean, maybe between each other, but not, you know, competing.
Yeah. So do they play with the school or are they on a traveling league?
Traveling league.
Mine too. Baseball?
Oh, wow. What was that?
Baseball?
Basketball and soccer.
Oh, okay. So we're on traveling
And
league for
track and
baseball.
field.
Oh man, you are. Sounds very similar to mine. Busy schedule, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So are you taking any trips this year?
Actually, we are. We're thinking about going to California, and then we will come, you know, for a week or two, and then we're going to go to Jordan, and then we will go to Europe as well.
Wow, that's amazing. I actually just got back from California about 2-3 weeks ago.
Oh, so cool.
It
For
was my
real?
first time there. Yeah. That's so
Like, what
funny.
are the odds of this? Are you being serious?
I'm being dead serious. So let's break for a little bit.
Okay.
I've never met you before,
Correct.
right? And this script is if we've met maybe once or twice. You came out to the restaurant that I used to work at, maybe, I don't know. But
Yeah.
I found a common ground in multiple ways. We both like to hike. We
Yeah.
both have kids. Our kids are crazy into sports, so we're constantly traveling. And I just went to California and you're going to California.
Correct.
And this is real life. I'm not making any of this up. This is
Yeah.
how the conversations go.
Right.
Super easy. But we built it up way bigger, right?
Yeah.
Now, as far as you feeling like you're bothering somebody,
Yes.
okay. Did you feel bothered at all?
No.
Not when you make it about them.
Yeah. No, not
If
at all,
you make the
actually.
conversation about somebody else, about them or about their belongings, or maybe it goes towards the house and you make it about their house, people love to talk about themselves. They're never going to feel bothered.
Yeah.
And always remember to smile when you're on the phone.
Yeah.
That's a big one because they can hear your smile.
Yeah.
Right, Brian?
Yes.
All right. Any other questions?
I think it's just for everybody, just getting over our own negative thoughts or thoughts, just because we feel some way, like we think that, oh, when someone calls me, I feel that they think this. Well, they don't think that, it's you thinking that. So I think you just need to maybe think more positive. Oh, well, they're going to be happy to see me or hear from me because I have something really valuable that's going to help them. So
Right.
if you keep that in mind and keep that mindset, then it helps you get over thinking negative, I think.
For sure. And you know, guys, it's not so much, you don't always have to ask them for business.
Yeah.
You may be calling just because, Joanne, I need your address because I'm updating my birthday list and I want to make sure I have it right. And your birthday is still, I don't know your birthday. When's your birthday?
November
November what?
23rd. Fun fact, Jason and I both had the same birthday.
Oh, Jason did too? Okay. Okay, so now I have that down. It's going in my calendar.
When's your birthday, Cassie?
July 6th.
Coming up.
Yeah. I'm gonna be 41. Ooh.
Yeah, it's young.
So just calling Joanne, I just want to, I'm going through my database. I'm updating my birthday card list. I just needed your birthday to make sure it's still right and your address is still right. And by the way, how are you? That's
Yeah.
it. It's super easy. You don't have to ask for business because it matters what you do after that phone call, right? It doesn't always matter during the phone call. You can seriously just come from a place of contribution and fully 100% mean it. And then yet afterwards, make sure they're in your database. Make sure you're touching them monthly. Put them on a neighborhood nurture. The whole goal is just for them to see your face in the word real estate and keep putting it next to each other, right? It's like McDonald's did with toys for kids. My kids heard McDonald's and they were like toy, right? When they were kids. Now they don't eat that, but so that's what the goal is.
Keep in mind, it takes time. I gave this example on the coaching call for Bluebell last week. You know, the reason we have you guys focusing on more than one lead gen source at a time, and the reason we want you to have so much coming in your funnel is because the timing of when they all pan out is different. And that's why you don't want that dip in your business because you stop prospecting for business. So I went to an open house. I wasn't even a KW agent. I was a Weichert agent back in 2017, but did an open house, met a woman and her dad, nurtured her that whole rest of that year because her husband was deployed. And so we couldn't really do anything. Then I nurtured her all through COVID. And then in 2021, it turned into 3 deals because I nurtured her. I liked her as a person and she had a son and her husband was deployed. There was lots of reasons for me to check in with her just as a human, as a mom, like mom to mom, like you're juggling your kid alone. And then COVID happens. Like, are you sane? Do you need me to bring you toilet paper? Like, what do you need? I will help you, and that turned into 3 deals, 4 years later? So the whole point is to really try to be in relationship with people. It's not about, well, when do we think they're going to pull the trigger? Don't start having commission breath. Really start to build those relationships because most of the time, if you do a really great job, you turn into friends with people. And now I have past clients that we go to dinner, we go to happy hour, we celebrate, cookie exchanges and all kinds of things together. So try to just focus on staying in relationship.
Yes. And the other thing is, if they're not buying now or selling now, one day they will. Yep. So there's never a bad lead. There may be a bad phone number, but there's never a bad lead.
Or they might know someone.
Right. Yeah. Like I said in the beginning of the call, the average person knows about 7 people who move every year. Right. And same with renters. I don't push renters huge because they are very time consuming. But if you fill your database with tenants, eventually they're going to buy. They may even buy the house that they're in. And not only that is they'll pass your name to the landlord. So when the landlord is ready to sell, there you go. I was telling Joanne and Hope a story before I got on that when I first started, I was very close with an agent here. She's my sponsor and she was a foreclosure specialist. So she used to toss me some leads. And one of the leads, I sold him a house 5-6 years ago, a $30,000 house, and I'm going to list it today, and it should be priced around 200,000. But he called me. He's also given me 3 other clients. So treat everybody the same. Have your standards that you never waver off of for your buyers and your sellers.
Can I add something too? This has helped me. I've always found it easier to talk to strangers and ask them for business than my own family. And Aaliyah, when you were asking the question earlier, one of my family members said, but Marielle, you need to look at it this way. You know what you're doing. You're very good at it. You need to protect those people you care about from working with somebody that maybe is only in it for the commission or doesn't really understand their craft as well. So once I flipped that switch in my mind and said, I'm asking for their business so that I can protect them. And I'll even say that to people, say, listen, mom, I'm not, you know me, I'm not the salesy type person, but I know the type of people that are out there. I know the lack of training in our industry, and I've taken great care to be well trained and to know what I'm doing. So out of protection for you, if you ever do move, please just contact me, at least give me a chance to show you what I know. And that has been very helpful to have those types of conversations. So if that helps you kind of get over that fear as well, hopefully that helps.
It
That's
is
very good
all
advice.
about the mindset and what we believe. I mean, and I think kind of like what it's all about the experiences. The more experience we have, the better you become. And I think it's like how you said, it's like failing forward. Like I, again, mentioned I have all these kids, right? I decided one day, because it's not that we're new here, but we're new here because I live in a small town where people haven't moved. Everyone knows each other. They went to school together. Their kids went to school with each other, et cetera, et cetera. So I decided I'm going to have an event and invite all the moms. So it was like 20 people, 22 people, because I really don't know them. And out of the 22 people, only 2 people knew I was a realtor. I was like, this is great. I rented out my clubhouse. I did some hors d'oeuvres, et cetera, et cetera. And sent out the invites, kept sending out the invites, and got very little feedback. And so I was very nervous. I was like, okay, do I continue? Do I not continue? What if people do show up and they don't say? So at the end, I had 11 people show up. Eventually, I invited some neighbors, and they were my neighbors. And out of the 11 people, 2 people didn't know I was a realtor. And that was it. And actually, I was very heartbroken because from like the 22 original people, they said, oh, great idea, great idea, great idea, great idea. But then when I was like, okay, just a reminder, that's when I didn't hear from anybody. And that's where I was like, okay, so again, what am I putting out to universe that people are like, oh no, we're not coming? Like, you know what I mean? So this was an experience where, again, it put that fear back inside of me, where I just was like doing like a nice event, networking event. And it was really just called, let's get to know each other. Didn't even say real estate, didn't have anything to do with real estate. It was, again, kind of like, you're at the coffee shop, you're at the restaurant, but with moms that or your kids know. So I think that's where my fear is, that I'm putting it out in the universe, but I feel like the door's like slamming in front of me. So I don't know.
Be consistent. Nothing works perfectly the first time you do it, right? I used to say we all sucked at our jobs when we started, but look at us now, right? So keep at it. Don't give up. Keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. And it'll happen. Even those 2 people, that's 2 people more than you didn't have before, right? And then the 11 people, that's 11 more people that you didn't have before. And you were right in not always making it about real estate. Make it about the kids. Put the kids together, do a baseball game, do a kickball game, dodgeball, whatever. But the key is being consistent. Put it on your calendar and make it non-negotiable. It has to happen. So
I should have the event again because I was wanting to do it every other month. So again, these 11 ladies, I sent out a message yesterday. I said, hey guys, May's around the corner. Let's plan to get together again. Again, very natural, just like ladies hanging out. Only one person responded.
So what? That's
Question.
one more person that you didn't have the day before.
No, it was the one from the original 11 people.
It's the word
So
we spread.
Are children
fully
welcome
believe
at this
that.
event? Oh yeah, are children welcome at this event? Or is it just?
our
for-
children, no, I just made it in the evening from 7 to 9.
So keep in mind that, at least for me, like that's a barrier. In order for me to go somewhere without my kids, somebody else has to watch them. And all moms may not have that option. So you may want to include the kids and say, hey, this is, play date and mom's night out. And do something where if you have the space where the kids can get together and play, that may increase your attendance. And really, you have, how many kids do you have?
3.
Yeah, you've got 3 on your street team, as I like to call it. Like you
Yeah.
got 3 kids, like you can get them shirts, got real estate, call my mom. Like you can subtly do things. And
If they
once
would
people
really
get to know
wear it.
you-
Yeah.
Yeah, once people
Yeah.
get to know you, that's a good idea. I like that.
Yeah, I
idea.
like that idea actually. Okay, well, that's actually a great idea too. That's, but the space issue, right, is now like, oh, can't have like 30, 40 people. So, okay. But that's an idea. But again, it's just kind of like that fear that I'm willing to put myself out there, but it's like when I'm not getting the response, because like how we said, we want people to like us and trust us. And then it just comes naturally from there. But just to get there is where I'm having a hard time. Like yourself, I could talk to strangers all day long and tell them everything about how great real estate is, about this market, that market, etc. But then it's like trying to connect with people that you semi-know or know.
Yeah, I mean, like I said in the beginning, nothing works perfectly the first time. And I really, really fully believe if you commit to it and you show and thank everybody who comes and show how successful and fun it is, whether it's one person or 20 people, if one person shows up, give that one person your everything. And yeah, that one person can lead to 7 more, can lead to 7 more and 7 more.
Okay, thank you. I guess I will just invite, well, I sent out the invite for the original 11. I will reach out to the other 11,
Yeah.
and just whoever comes basically.
Our neighborhood, we do the same thing. We trick or treat together. We get together. This one girl, Dawn, she hosted at her house. She opens her garage doors. We all bring food and we trick or treat. We all hop in the back of trucks. We bring the 4-wheelers, put everybody in the trailer. So much fun. And I always say, if there's not a group, create one. Create that group. Create a Facebook group. Create, if ours is all moms, there's like 15 of us on there. And there's 2 real estate agents on that group. And we both work here. But it still works for us. So they ask me questions and I'm there for them.